Hey there, welcome to Hillbilly Herpetology. I'm Webb, this is Buck, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about our axolotl project, how it's going. We're going to talk about the growth rate of these guys, and we're going to talk about what we've been feeding and things like that. So, be right back with that. Alright, so we've got these guys over here. They are currently pooping. How nice, I can see the poop. So, we have in here, we have two dirty Lucy's. They're going to be these lighter color ones here that have filthy faces up here in the front, pink gills, and then a whitish, yellowish body. When they were little, they were super yellow. Over here, we have a copper melanoid. I really like the coloration of these guys. They're really, really pretty blended together. They're pretty either one by themselves, but the copper added to the melanoid makes both of them pop, I think. Here we have our other Lucy. Once again, this dirty Lucy. Lucy is short for leucistic. And then, wait, is it leucistic? I have to double check that. And then over here, we have a melanoid, which this melanoid is going to be very similar to the normal wild type. They're just a bit darker. You can see they're almost like a black, especially by this age and this size. So, one of the things that I wanted to do while I was working on them today was to take a measurement of them. I did not measure them when I got them in, which is unfortunate, but I can tell you they were probably, what would you say, around half this size?
If not smaller.
So, but what we'll do here is I'm going to see if they will be nice enough to sit still. We're sitting right at 6.5 inches. If you want to show it up this way so that you can see the actual, see the measurement of the numbers. Right at about 6.5 inches. Maybe, I'd say 6.5 on that one. And I don't think there's any of them bigger or worse than one. They're all about the same size. And I'll eventually gonna pull them out and get a weight on them, but I don't think that that's overly important right now. A few of the other things I did want to talk about here. So, Jesse, my good friend Jesse Stuber, which by the way, I believe it's called The Jesse Show, but I'm going to try to have a link in the description below to some of his videos if you guys go support him, watch some of his videos. But my friend Jesse raised these from egg to around the several month stage to where they could actually eat things besides baby brine shrimp. So, that was a pain. Thank you so much for that, Jesse. You're awesome. So, once they got to that stage, he sent these 4 back with me. Now, once I got them, I started feeding night crawlers because I read that that was the best thing that they could eat. So, it was hard because I had to cut the worm down the middle longwise, and if you've ever tried to do that to a worm that's squirming around, it is not easy. And then after I got it as good as I could that way, I had to take, because it was too big around for them to eat still at that size. So then after that, it was too big longwise for them to eat that big piece. So I had to sit and cut it into little tiny pieces the long ways. So it was kind of hard feeding them like that, but I think I had good growth rate and they seemed very healthy. So I did that up until earlier this month when we went to Pennsylvania. I asked the wife to feed the axolotls, and she said there's no way that I'm cutting worms up for them things. Forget her exact words, they probably weren't quite that nice, but she definitely was not up for that. So we went to Walmart and we got a couple of different types of pellets, but I came back and they all floated. They didn't say on the packaging floating. I specifically looked for ones that did not say floating. I wanted ones that said sinking. I could not find sinking. So we brought them back, they floated. They would occasionally come up to the top and grab one that I seen that night, but they weren't really big on them. They like sinking stuff. So we got on and we found It's called Hikari Sinking Carnivore Pellets. And it actually has pictures of the axolotls right on here. I got on Amazon and I got these. And this has been so great. I don't have to cut the worms up. I just open it up, I sprinkle some pellets in. Now, the shame on me thing is I don't keep track of how many pellets I put in when I'm doing this. I just sprinkle some in. I should be a bit more scientific than that. I should be keeping track of exactly how much I'm feeding them every day. But whatever they're getting here is working. They've got fat little bellies on them and they're growing good. So I accidentally picked this up, and I haven't really done any research on what kind of, amphibians are very sensitive. And so there's things, and fish are too, but amphibians even more so. I mean, you got to look at the fact, amphibians breathe through their skin typically. So their skin's very like membrane kind of thing. Things go in easier than a lot of other animals. So, and they always say a good way to judge an ecosystem, how it's doing, is to look at the amphibians in the area, because they're always the first to go. So if you go into an area and all the amphibians are gone within the last few years, then you can expect that in the coming few years that there's going to be a big die-off of a lot of animals. So I'm not sure if this is okay to use or not. I thought that I was getting dechlorinator, and I got conditioner. So I've got to look more into that to see if that's good. But the reason I brought this out is to just let you guys know, make sure that you're reading everything on the front of it whenever you go to grab something, so you don't end up with something you're not using. But they do need a dechlorinator in the water, these guys do. There's a lot of specifications for the hardness of their water and all that. And this is where I'm going to level with you the hillbilly way. I couldn't tell you what the hardness of their water is. I've never checked it. The acidic levels, never checked it. I just make sure the tank stays cycled, and I'm making sure that I'm doing water changes, and that's what I've been doing. And the reason for that is, a lot of you might not know my background. I used to clean swimming pools for people in Houston, Texas. And we would occasionally take on the job, if somebody had enough sway with the boss, we would occasionally take on a job to do a small fountain, or to do, if not a fountain, a little, just small bodies of water. You're talking, you know, several hundred gallons or less. And what I found when working on those were that the amount of chemical agents that you would use in that small body of water did so much different things than what they would in a bigger body of water, not just adjusted by amounts, but so many different factors that it's really hard to properly adjust levels in a small body of water. And so because of that, I'm not going to try to do a lot of adjusting unless I notice that there's some issues with my axolotls thriving. Because I feel like a lot of times when you go to do those minute changes and they're already doing good, you're only going to hurt. The old adage, if something's not broke, don't fix it. And we're not fixing these guys because they don't look too broken to me. I mean, they look pretty nice. So I don't do all of the hard water checks and all that. Maybe if you already know your water is a problem, do that. But I just use a really good quality dechlorinator / water conditioner whenever I'm doing my water changes, and I think that probably helps that out a lot. And then I'm doing water changes regularly too, guys. And another thing I want to mention with these guys is they do need some of the minerals that are in tap water. You can get spring water as long as it's real spring water, but you don't want to go with any kind of RO or super filtered water for these guys. It's not what they need, and it can hurt them. So you do want to use water with minerals in it. It is very important they have that. But other than that, this is how it's been going. Judging by this growth rate, we'll see what happens over the next 6 months, but I don't see any reason why in the next 6 months these guys aren't full-grown adults and ready to breed. and we actually went and picked up some fish tanks today to put them in. We're going to get the area ready, and here within the next few weeks we're going to have a nice update. They're going to be moving into a much bigger area than a 10-gallon tank that they've been in right now. I believe it's a 50-gallon or a 40-gallon that I'm putting them in at least, and there's going to be some nice driftwood in it. We're going to have my buddy Jesse is going to be giving me some nice plants to put in there. We're going to have some fake plants in there too, and we're just going to see how good we can get it to look, because that's my only complaint with these guys is it's really hard to find a good substrate for them. When they get bigger, you can use some nice big round river rocks, but right now, anything they can fit in their mouth, these intelligent little creatures will eat. And so if you put a rock in there and it can fit in their mouth, they're going to eat it, and it's not going to end well for the axolotls. So you can't really have anything on the bottom of the tank right now. So it just kind of looks bare, but that's the only complaint. Other than that, they've been really cool. I really enjoy having them right beside my bed. I get to go in the evening. They're really easy to take care of besides the water changes, because I throw a little bit of food in the evening. They're good to go. And I just get to watch them in the evening times. I'll watch TV and I'll look over and see them, and watch TV and look over and see them, and it's just really nice to have. So if you guys have any questions, ask down in the comment section below, because if I don't know it, Jesse will probably with these things. It's been great. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you here next time at Hillbilly Herpetology.